everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the All Things Georgia Call-In Show presented by UGAsports.com. I'm your host, Paul Meharry, joined alongside, as always, my lovely co-host, Andy Stowe, and the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie from Ackworth. Guys, appreciate you joining us on your Sunday evening. Football is back. We've been watching some NFL preseason. We'll talk a little bit about some dogs in the NFL that we saw over the week. And then also we're going to dive into our last two games of our season preview with Tennessee and Georgia Tech. We're going to leave out UMass. We might touch on them a little bit, but we didn't feel like they needed a whole segment on the show. Guys, and if it's your first time watching us, please let us know where you're watching from. If it's your 50th time watching us, let us know that you're here. We'll shout you out. And also, if you have any comments, concerns, criticisms of the show, make sure to put them in the chat, and we'll get you on the screen with us. Before we get started, though, the Olympics wrapped up today. The United States, by way of tiebreaker, won the most golds. I don't know how they did that. I guess because they had more silvers, I think, maybe. But congratulations to those guys. And we're going to go around the horn, ask each other how our weekend was, but we also have to pick out our favorite moment from the Olympics. So, Andy, how was your weekend? Favorite moment?
My weekend was good. Did a little yard work today, so got a little nice farmer's tan going on.
Nice.
Hot. It was very hot, but it's got to get done. My favorite moment, and it's kind of low hanging fruit, was Noah Lyles, but not because of that. It was because there are like GIFs going around of Michael Scott, his nose sticking out. He's got the huge nose. So I've been seeing those pictures, and I love that. So I haven't gotten too deep into the Olympics this year.
Well, for you, it's done. So it's you don't have to get any deeper.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's good to go. Okay. Yeah, Michael Scott's my favorite one. I love The Office, so seeing Michael Scott winning by a nose, it's hard to beat.
What you got, Eddie?
So, hope you boys are well. Good to see you both. Today is my son Eli's 20th birthday, so shout out to Eli Mattingly. We went out to Kennesaw State and celebrated his birthday, so that was nice.
There we go.
Where did you go? My niece is out there rushing this week. She just got selected into sororities and all that stuff.
He wanted to go to Taco Mac, so that's where we went. Just
place.
A little late lunch, and enjoyed that. So that was good. And I'll tell you, before I get to my favorite moment, you know what I learned from the Olympics? And this was, I can't remember who it was, but it's a track star from Norway or something. And she saluted like this with her right hand. And then she went, no. And then she saluted with her left hand.
What was up with that?
Yeah. Did you guys know that you're, as a civilian, when you're just saying hello, you're supposed to do that with your left hand? The military salutes with their right hand.
Oh,
so that's why I've actually been doing it correctly, believe it or not. Because I salute when I come on, and I saw that, and I'm like, "Ooh, I didn't mean to disrespect the military." But yeah, the left hand is kind of just, "Hey, how you doing?" I found that really interesting. So
that is interesting.
Is
that your moment from the Olympics?
No. Did you listen to what I said? I said this is ancillary. I know, typical. You don't listen. My favorite moment, and I love little moments like this, and I know, Paul, you're probably going to yell at me. I'm not disparaging the Americans. I loved everything the USA did, but it was Julian Alfred from St. Lucia winning the 100-meter dash, beating Sha'Carri Richardson, and the island of St. Lucia, my people, Creole French, first medal ever. I just love moments like that because it came out of nowhere. And it was such a cool moment to see the entire island just cheering at once. And she was shocked when she crossed the 100 meters as the winner. And I just love stuff like that in the Olympics.
Oh, congratulations to her. You know what I love? I love the Australian breakdancer girl. So Friday, real quick, we'll get into the dogs, I promise, guys. Friday, we've got our office, right? And we have a projector back where we all eat lunch. And just so happens that all of my guys that work with us, we're back in the office. We had all come back from different areas, and we just happened to see women's breakdancing as one of the things we could watch. We turn it on, and we got to watch that live all together. And we knew at the time, we were like, man, this is pretty meme worthy, right? I didn't know it was going to take over like it did.
I've been seeing a lot of those. Yeah.
But we watched it live and we were like, yo, she's terrible. This is so bad. Like, we're laughing, we're dapping each other up. Like, we rewind it when she did the little kangaroo thing. And we were like, this can't be real. And then lo and behold, like an hour, 2 hours later, it's just blowing up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should have I should have done a little viral thing, filmed it, and could have been the first one to get it out there, but I didn't.
You could have been the male version of Hawk Tua. That could have been you. So.
And by the way, they have now dropped said event from the Olympics. I think partly because of that. That dancing will no more be a part of the Olympics, nor should it be.
Right. We got J-Ways out there rolling through Texas. What's up, man? Safe travels. My brother GK is in the building. What's going on? We got Dogs Rolling Loud in here. We got Mountain Man. We got Jermaine King. Today's my birthday. It was a birthday until Luke Jackson started pitching like Luke Jackson. Hey, first off, man, happy birthday to Jermaine, dude. He is family. He's not a friend of the show. He's family of the show, man. And shout out to Jermaine. Hope you have a great birthday. He's always there for us, watches us, and we appreciate his insight a lot. So look at that, shouting him out. Everybody give Jermaine some happy love and happy birthdays in the chat, man. We appreciate that because he is a good dude. All right, guys, we are 9-1 right now. If you have missed any of the previous ones, 8-1, excuse me. I knew I was going to get it wrong, Andy, and I asked you pre-show. 8-1.
Yeah.
Andy has all of the Dogs games being won, but by majority rules, Eddie and I both said Georgia would catch a loss. We said that was against Texas, right, Andy?
Yeah, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So 8-1 right now, and we are heading into UGA versus Tennessee in Athens, November 16th. Now, remember, I said the most fun game this season would be UGA Ole Miss. I think that's the most fun game.
For you as a media member, not as fans.
Right. So the
mature media fan, media member.
Exactly.
Right. Let's get that.
The most hype game of them all for the season is going to be UGA Bama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, UGA Texas is going to be the most hype game. The most hype game for Georgia fans is UGA Bama. Right. This game here, I think, is going to. It has a weird feel to it. Middle of November, right? Tennessee returning 5 guys on offense. So they've got Squirrel White coming back, who 803 yards last year. That's pretty big.
Yeah. That's
Drew
big.
McCoy, who I've always thought was a good player, just been riddled with injuries and kind of transferred around from USC to Tennessee and this, that, and the other. We've got a familiar guy still at center for them, Cooper Mays. Old Cade Mays' brother.
Give him a high 4. Tell him good job.
Yeah. High 4, yeah. You've got right guard Javante Spraggins and right tackle John Campbell, which I think John Campbell is probably NFL bound as well. Then they've got on defense James Pierce, who is a freak. They've got him going potentially number 1 overall. He did last year what we would like to see Michael do this year. So he had 27 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 9.5 sacks. So if you want to go watch somebody and see production of what we think Michael can do this year, go back and watch James Pierce last year for Tennessee. Watch his highlights. He's pretty good.
Where did he play high school? Sorry to put you on.
I don't know. I think I don't want to say he came out of nowhere, right? But he wasn't on my radar.
He's not a Georgia product, is he?
No, I do not think so. Andy's looking it up right now for us.
Sorry.
I do not think so.
That just came to mind. I don't know where he played.
Yeah, he wasn't, in my opinion, I don't think Georgia was after him because the name last year did not ring a bell to me when he came up on the scene.
Right.
So,
right.
And I could totally be wrong about that.
He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, Julius L. Chambers High School. So.
What was he rated as a recruit?
1 second.
I bet he was a 3-star, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, he was a 4-star, really.
Yeah, wow. This is off the Rivals website. Yeah, they had him as a 4-star. They had him the 160th player in the country.
Yeah, wow. I guess Georgia just didn't really put much into it because I don't remember hearing about him much. Guess the spread, Eddie, or you've already looked at it?
I've already looked at it, so go ahead.
16.5.
I read the notes, Paul.
You do.
Yeah.
16.5 point favorite for Georgia.
Does that seem high to you boys? I know it's a long. I mean, we're projecting November. It's a ridiculous projection.
And I feel like like you said, projecting November 16th right now.
You can't.
Like, what if, God forbid, Nico goes down for Tennessee? You know, like this spread changes drastically.
What if, God forbid, Carson Beck goes down?
Right. You know, and I guess if you're a big time bettor, you're looking at this and saying, hey, what happens if these guys go down? Does this line, do I feel comfortable with that? We've got Mountain Man says seems high to me. He figured -10.
Yeah,
we beat them by 28 last year. So.
James says that's steep.
I agree.
We've got Marsh Mud in the building. What's up, Marsh? Good to see you, brother. It seems high. 16. What did you say it was last year?
Well, we won by 28 last year, so 38-10. So
and that was in Tennessee.
That was in Tennessee. Yeah.
It seems high.
It does. It does seem high, but then you start reading the takes that these guys have on them. Maybe it's not. It doesn't. You start reading about their DBs, talking about how they're 3 transfer cornerbacks, and so it looks like they could be struggling. So I think their defense is going to struggle.
I think it all comes down to the quarterback, which of course Andy put out there, right? Well, we both did based on the magazines, right?
Yeah.
How Nico does.
Yeah, Lindy's has Tennessee as their 15th overall in their preseason rankings, picked to finish 7th in the SEC. That's crazy to me. You can be 15, like that.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's really tough. You're picked 15th in the preseason, and then 7th in the SEC.
Look at Phil Steele's. It's almost the opposite. It's 26 in the preseason and 5th in the SEC. Yeah.
So I mean, that seems crazy. That just shows you that the SEC is going to be crazy deep this year.
It is.
And 3 questions Lindy's has is, can Nico live up to the hype? That's going to be like, that's what their season revolves around. And I think he can. So let's break him down real quick. Can he live up to this hype? Because I think he's a really good quarterback.
He looks the part. I mean, when he would play last year, because I never understood why they weren't playing him more often than they did, but because they always love Bazooka Joe. He can throw 80 yards. He can't throw 8 yards. He can't throw the ball 8 yards. I mean,
what's funny, Andy, is New England. They drafted Joe Milton, right? And they're not a huge college football place up there in New England. Right. They're raving about Joe Milton's arm, and it's like, man, I love watching this.
They're going to get hurt. Something earlier today while I was cutting grass, and they were talking about Joe Milton, how great he can throw. The guy can't throw the ball 8 yards. I mean, he's terrible. They should have played Nico. They should have played Nico basically the whole year last year. I mean, he's just
get him some experience. Yeah,
he's good though. He's good. How do you say his last name, Andy?
All right, so I got it broken down over here. So you pronounce it Iamaleva or
no?
Iamaleva.
There you go.
Iamaleva.
Did he get it right?
Iamaleva. That's right.
Yeah.
He missed he missed one, but that's right. That's why
their other question is, will the offensive line hold up? 2 returning starters are coming off of injuries, and their left guard doesn't have a starter. It's a new guy starting there for them.
Well, I don't think they've named a guy. So Lindy's has him written down, but it said that they have not actually named a guy as of now. But Lindy's believes it's going to be Jackson Lampley, who is a senior. But I think as of now, they don't know for sure. So
Their last question, can the secondary carry its weight? It was near the bottom of the SEC in pass yards per game last year, and now it has 3 transfers. I don't know, man. It's this game, to me, it feels like it's going to be a blowout, but at the same time, like that 16.5 still scares me. If I was to bet on it right now, I don't think I could do 16.5, but I feel like they're going to cover that, if that makes sense.
That's how I am.
James says it's a classic Josh Heupel offense, and he hasn't cracked the Kirby code yet. People talking about Stetson. We'll talk about Stetson. He threw 4 picks today, but we'll talk about him. Jayway out there in Texas says, who's the one team that will be better than last season in the SEC? So we've gone through Georgia's SEC schedule, right? Basically with Tennessee, we'll wrap up Tennessee after this question, but we've gone through everybody on their schedule SEC wise. Who's the one team that will be better than last season in the SEC?
Who are you throwing that to, Paul?
Either one of you.
Well, Ole Miss.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay.
I'm going to say Florida.
Okay.
Whoa. What?
You heard me. I'm going to say Florida.
So that
5 and 7.
That talk last week got you, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to throw it out there. He asked a question, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
Florida.
You think they're going to be better, but with the same bad record? Or because
I think.
Yeah. What do we talk? Like, are they 1 win better? Or
what was his question? Put his question back up. I'm sorry, Paul.
All right. He says, who's the one team will be better than last season in the SEC?
7 and 5. That's better.
You think Florida? Oh, okay.
No, what were you saying, Andy?
I don't believe that one bit. You think they're going to win 7 games?
We'll see.
Okay. I know so I think they lose to Miami first week. They went out and got Cam Ward. Cam Ward was like the highest rated transfer quarterback in the
country. We say that was a toss up last weekend?
We did, but I still believe it. Yeah,
I think we went through this last week and basically said, look, there's 2 ways this season can play out. They're either going to be 3 wins, or they could. So Eddie is just on the path of positivity for Florida.
Well,
I don't see it, but
okay, that's fine. Well, who's yours, Paul?
I think Ole Miss will be decent.
What was Ole Miss's record last year, guys? Sorry, I think
they had 3 losses, right?
They went 9-3. Yeah, that was
9-3. So you're saying
let me look
10,
up
11 wins.
Let me look up the SEC standings last year. I'll give you one. Give me a second.
I'm sure they went 10-2 and they won the bowl game. Yeah, they went 11-2 total overall.
Okay, so you guys are talking.
Well, are we talking
the
about
SEC championship?
Are we talking about better by record? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. Jayway asked the question. I didn't ask the question. Ask him.
Jayway,
you might have to.
That's a great question. Clarify.
Yeah, clarify that for us. Be better. Man, I want to say
I should have
Tennessee.
You think Tennessee?
They were 9-4. They were 9-4 last year. I think they could probably top 10 wins this year. Jayway did clarify. He says by record. By record.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Then
so
one win in Florida's better.
I don't think they win more
6.
I don't think Florida wins more than 4 games this year. But
okay.
I'll say another one.
I'll say. Go ahead.
That's who I was about to say. Can I change too?
Yeah. No, you're stuck with yours.
I thought we were talking about better as in just like a better team, not necessarily because
he clarified it. He said record.
So after that, I was going with Auburn, easily going, or shoot, you can even throw Kentucky out there for that matter. But
Kentucky was 7-6.
Yeah. So maybe they win 8, but I think a better team, Ole Miss will be a better team. I think Florida maybe. I know, but I'm just saying, I think Florida may be a little better, but I still think they're going to be terrible. I mean, it's
right. So you just said I'm right.
No, I didn't. I think they win 3 games or 4 games max.
You just said Florida may be better.
Beyond's in the building. Act right. Beyond's here. Okay. What's up, Beyond? Good
tone
to see
it
you,
down. Stop arguing.
Alex says, so it's better for Ole Miss meaning they win 12 regular season games. I mean, that would have to be the.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. That changed that when he said record-wise, that changed the way I was thinking because I was thinking just a better overall team. But now, if you're talking about Vanderbilt would be better.
D's in here. Vanderbilt will be better than Florida. That's a take.
Yeah. If that happens, you better get to Vegas and bet your life savings, dog.
Right.
Vanderbilt may not finish the season.
So wrapping up here with Tennessee, they've got one guy in the first team all SEC, obviously James Pierce. Second team preseason, Cooper Mays. Third team, they've got running back Dylan Sampson, offensive lineman Lance Hurd, and all-purpose Squirrel White.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that also goes for Phil Steele. He's got James Pierce's defensive end, Cooper Mays, his second team, third team Squirrel White, and Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle on his third team. Where are we sitting with this one, guys? It's a win?
I got Georgia winning and covering. Yeah.
I got to win.
I think we smoke them. Eddie, what you got?
Eddie's smiling. I don't like what are you doing?
I think Tennessee wins this football game, guys.
You do not. You're lying.
This is my second loss. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling a lie.
Explain, please.
All right. So it's been 2019. I was at that awful South Carolina game. Okay. The record can't go on forever. And I understand we have had Tennessee's number year after year after year. It's become a joke. But look at the gauntlet of the schedule Georgia has gone through to this point. Okay. It's been brutal, as you guys know. And I just think this is one of those games. What are we coming off of? What was the previous game? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Prior to this game.
Oh, Georgia.
Who did we just play? Florida? And then we played Tennessee?
No, you played Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay. And we go out there, and as you guys said, as Paul said, most entertaining game of the year, fun game of the year. It's going to be a barn burner, right? And I just think we get back home, and there's going to be, I've been telling you guys, there's going to be a lull at some point in this season that we're all going to look around on Monday and be like, where the hell did that come from? I'm predicting that's this game. And I think Tennessee, it's going to be painful as hell, but I think Tennessee gets us. Couple things here. As you know, Phil Steele ranks running backs, quarterbacks across the nation, okay? Nothing on QB, running back, wide receiver for Tennessee. But he ranked the offensive line as 8th in the country. He also ranked the defensive line as 8th in the country. Okay, that's big. That's big on the lines of scrimmage, right?
What does he have? UGA's offensive line and defensive line?
Well, it's higher, Andy. It's higher. I get that. I understand that. But I just think it's going to be a shootout. And Georgia is just – I just feel like this is the lull game for them. You guys are going to override me 2-1 anyway. It doesn't matter. But I just feel like this is the loss for them. And I keep saying it. I would actually prefer that, as painful as it would be, to sit at home 10-2 and watch the SEC championship.
So that's a take. That's a take. I'm looking through the schedule, right?
Auburn. Have you looked at Tennessee's schedule?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have it right here.
Yeah. Real quick though. Auburn at home for Georgia, and then Tennessee at home. This is probably Georgia's biggest home game, I would think, this year. Some would argue Auburn is.
I think Auburn is big.
I think Tennessee's probably bigger in terms of where these teams.
And the other thing, guys, I'll say this: it's late in the season. You just and the same is true for Tennessee. I get that, but you don't know. Like we just talked about, God forbid, is Carson Beck out? There's going to be attrition. You just never know with a game in November like this, and it's ridiculous to predict at this point. But I've been telling you guys, I see a trip up at some point, and I think this is it.
Dogs Rolling Loud is not agreeing with you right now.
I'm with Dogs Rolling Loud.
That's fine.
So.
Brett says if we lose to Tennessee, we don't make the playoffs.
Disagree. Totally disagree.
Yeah, I think if you only lose 2 games, as Eddie has predicted here, they make it. Alex Page says, what would Tennessee's record potentially be going?
I got it right here. I went through it. Okay, so I got Chattanooga, win. NC State, win. Kent State.
That might be tricky. Don't sleep on that NC State. I'm just saying. Okay.
Kent State. Shut up, Andy. Kent State, win. Oklahoma, I put as a win. I know that's probably a.
Where's that game?
At Oklahoma.
At Oklahoma. That's that. Now that could be. I agree with you. That could go either way. You don't know. I put it as a win. Just because.
Well, look, Heupel's got some blood there, right? He obviously played quarterback there.
Right. Absolutely, he does.
Might have a little juice. Okay.
That's right. Okay. That's right. At Arkansas, come on, they're garbage. Win. Florida, they're going to win that game. I think. Alabama, I think they lose that game. Where are we now?
Where is that game? Where is that game?
Alabama's in Tennessee.
I know, but Alabama's out for blood in that game, like you just mentioned. Okay, that's 7-1. Kentucky. I put an X here because I wasn't sure. What do you guys think? I mean, that could go either way.
It's at Tennessee, so I would say
Tennessee. Okay, that's a W. 8-1. Mississippi State. That's a win at Georgia. There you go. I mean, they're coming in what? 9-1.
They're probably top 7, top 6.
And by the way, we're 9-1 too, right?
We 8-1, 8-1, and 8-1.
Oh, okay.
But either way, Georgia's going to smoke.
And then they have UTEP and Vanderbilt. So I mean, they have the third. They have the third easiest schedule in the SEC. By the way,
I was just about to ask you. Yeah, third easiest.
Third easiest.
Mm-hmm. You might have a point, Eddie. They might be rolling. at that point. I think Georgia wins.
You know what? I don't even want to do the show if we lose to Tennessee on that Sunday. I mean, I may be sick that day. There ain't no way. We lose to Josh Heupel. Oh God, that'll be at home. At home. Oh, but it's gonna happen eventually.
Randy Payne's in the building. Eat off the floor in 24. Go Dogs from Tifton, Georgia. There he is. Heupel's homecoming. Yeah, it is. He's going back to Oklahoma. Garrett says Andy is not liking Eddie's prediction right now.
It's okay.
Also, Brett, better statement. He says, if we lose to Tennessee, we don't deserve to be in the playoff. I don't know about that either. After going through that schedule, they're going to be pretty highly ranked, Brett.
You lose 3, you're on the cusp of being out. You lose 2, I think you're okay.
Both at 9-1. I think both at 8-1. We confirmed Happy Birthday King in November, and at Sanford Stadium. The Dogs will be extra fired up. Yeah. This is going to be
There's not going to be a slip up. There's not that's the good thing. Their record is going to be so good against Georgia. It's not like they're going to limp in at like 5-3 and Georgia's overlooking them. Georgia's going to be fired up for that game.
That's true. That's a great point, Andy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a top 10 matchup. As we just went through that, exactly. Alex, it'll be another top 10 game for the Dogs, which, golly, man, if you look through this, I know Clemson's not top 10. They're what, 15 or 16 starting out the year.
Yeah.
Alabama will be a top 10 game for Georgia. Texas will be a top 10 game for Georgia. Ole Miss will be a top 10 game for Georgia.
You're talking about top 5 matchups too. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
That could be
so you've got 4 for sure. You got 4 for sure top 10, and probably 2 or 3 of those are top 5 matchups for Georgia. This is a tough schedule, guys. And so with that, we've got the Dogs 9-1, but there's a little asterisk there, Andy, on that spreadsheet that you're making. Put that. Eddie's got that as a loss.
I got it written down. Losing to Tennessee by Eddie from Ackworth.
We've got Georgia at home against UMass. They've already announced the time of that game. That's going to be a 12:45 kick on November 23rd. When is Thanksgiving this year?
That's going to be 6 days after that, or no, 3 days before that.
Yeah, so we've got Thanksgiving on the 28th this year.
Yeah.
So right before that, we've got a little UMass. Get you ready for the holidays. Get you in the holiday spirit, Eddie. Dogs obviously are winning this one. Yeah, we can go ahead and put this as a dub.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Eddie, you're muted. Eddie, you're muted. But
yeah, you're muted. All right, last game of the year. I don't know what happened, Eddie. I'm gonna kick you out and come back in. Last game of the year, Georgia Tech. Now this one, this is interesting to me because this is not going to be on a Saturday. They have it as November 29th, 24. That's not right because that is right.
Friday, November 29th. Yeah, because Thanksgiving
I'm looking at, for some reason, I'm looking at August, and August the 29th is on a Thursday. I'm like, that can't be right.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Are you good, Eddie? Eddie is still not good, I don't think. Or we'll come back to him. This game is going to be on a Friday.
Yep.
People do not like this. I absolutely love this.
Yeah.
I love this game being on a Friday night at 7:30. Like, everybody's eyes are going to be on this game, Andy.
It is. I agree. I think it's going to be, even though it's Georgia Tech, it's still going to be watched by everyone. Like that's the thing. We're going to everyone watches the Egg Bowl because it's the Egg Bowl. Like it's cool. It's just something different, and that's what's going to happen with this game. So yeah, I think it's cool. And especially, dude, under the lights in Sanford Stadium on Friday night at 7:30. Like, come on.
Look, Thursday you hang out with the fam, right? You watch NFL, you eat good. Friday night, the Friday night after Thanksgiving, there's really not much going on.
No.
You've got, like you said, the Egg Bowl plays on that Friday, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. Actually, or does it play on Thanksgiving?
I think it plays whatever. It plays somewhere around there.
Yeah, the Egg Bowl's on Friday. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
it used to be LSU Arkansas in the Egg Bowl. That was Friday.
Right? Yeah, it is Friday, November the 29th. Yeah.
So you've got the Egg Bowl, which is always a fun watch, but now you get Georgia on Black Friday. And right here, what Marshmutt says, all for Black Friday instead of the nooner snoozer.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, here's the thing, guys. As much as you're a Georgia fan and as much as you want to watch Georgia Tech, you've got to at least on that Saturday, at least set up a second screen on your phone or a different on different TV to watch Ohio State, Michigan. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Them's are the rules. You can't miss that game, even though you're a dog fanatic. Yep. You have to watch that game. So now you can watch Georgia Tech uninterrupted. And then on Saturday, you get all of the premier games. I love it. Yeah. People were complaining about it. I love it. Andy loves it. Eddie, something tells me you hate it.
No, I told you all along I loved it, and that was one of the main reasons why, because I never get to watch Ohio State, Michigan, because it's always opposite the – come on, Paul. Do you have wax in your ears? Sometimes you call me the old guy who can't hear anything. I don't think you listen to a damn word I say. I think you just – move on after I talk and be like, Andy, what's your take? It's just ridiculous. We've covered this. I'm ecstatic that it's a 7:30 Friday night blackout game. And that's what it's going to be, a blackout game.
Do you think we'll black them out? You think
you're calling that, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to call it right now. It's a perfect opportunity to do a blackout. Perfect.
That is like, unless like maybe Mississippi State is a night game. You can do it then, middle of the season.
This is Tech. It's Georgia Tech.
Let's dive into that a little bit. Because I feel like I said this in the past, and you guys ridiculed me for this, and folks will as well. This game is a lose-lose for Georgia. Now, granted, their team has gotten significantly better, and we haven't gone through their team yet. They've got 7 guys come back on offense, 7 guys on defense. This team by Brent Key is looking better in all things, right?
Yeah.
But this game for Georgia has been a lose-lose since Kirby's shown up pretty much. Because if you lose this game, your season's kind of ruined in a sense.
Yeah.
Whereas Georgia Tech, if they win this game, their season is
their
best season they've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Muted,
so, Eddie, you're something's going on with your sound. But I know you guys have ridiculed me in the past about it. This game, to me, it doesn't matter as much as the other SEC games. I know that you want to crush them, Andy, but I don't know.
It matters. You can't lose. It only matters if
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what you can't lose. So that means it matters as much as any game, because this is a game you can't lose. Like, you absolutely cannot lose this game. If you lose to Tennessee the week before, it sucks, but it's not terrible. You lose to this team, you're talking about out of the playoffs, you're out of the playoffs then. Unless, well, I guess if you went on and beat Georgia or beat Alabama or Texas in the SEC championship game. But yeah, this is a game that it means as much as any game, because you can't afford to lose it. It's one of those.
And the thing for Georgia is Kirby has pounded it in the players' heads so much that they hate Tech just as much as he did when he played.
Yeah.
And that's what's kept this Georgia team like fighting against Tech, is Kirby has pounded it in them. Hey, this Georgia Tech game means something, right? And it means something to a lot of people. I mean, if you lose to Tech and you're Georgia, heads start rolling, and with this being a Friday night game and all eyes on you as a program, especially after the season that you've gone through as Georgia, right, where you played all these marquee matchups, then you get the last game on a Friday night to really show people, like, hey, where should this team be ranked playoff wise? This is a good little litmus test, because Georgia Tech's going to give you everything they got.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on with my mic. I apologize, but here's the thing I hate about Georgia Tech. I hate Georgia Tech. Here's the thing I really hate about Georgia Tech. It's really hard for me to hate Brent Key and Buster Faulkner. Okay. I loved previous regime when I just despised the head coach, and that made me hate Georgia Tech even more. Those guys are likable, and Brent Key, unfortunately, is the right guy for this job. Yes. He's given us fits, right? Yeah, he really has. Did y'all know he's 4-0 versus ranked SEC team? 4-0 versus ranked ACC teams. Yeah. Straight up, 4-0. I mean, he's doing a great job. And by the way, Phil Steele called Georgia Tech dangerous this year. Dangerous. Okay. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come into Athens and beat them. I think the X factor is the night game, 7:30. That's the worst thing that could have happened to Georgia Tech. If it's a 12 o'clock kick, I'd give Tech a chance to outright win the game. Okay. But a 7:30 night game, Friday evening, ain't no friggin' way.
You need to get rid of that wacky weed, dog.
I said there's a chance, Andy. Hey, you know what? They were a drop pass away from being up, 14-0? Wasn't that last year?
Yeah.
They looked like they were ready to play us. And we all kind of laughed at Tech. We're like, come on, it's going to be 31-0 in the first quarter. They hung around. And I know eventually we overcame them, but that 7:30 kick just makes all the difference in the world. Thank God.
Hey, Shootem agrees with you, though. We definitely don't need to sleep on Tech this year.
No.
And they're getting love, though. That's the thing. They're getting love. And again, that puts them on the radar even more. So,
all right, I got a question for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
JC says that could be a ranked game as well. Who knows? Georgia Tech has Florida State in Ireland week 1. I know that they're underdogs to Florida State in that game, but I could see them winning that. We'll run through Tech's schedule too. Real quick. What you got, Eddie?
But before, I want to ask you guys a question, because this could play out. What if Georgia comes into this game 10-1 and they are locked in their playoff spot? They're not going to the SEC championship. They're locked regardless of the outcome of this game. What do you guys think about that?
Kirby still wants to whoop that. Kirby still wants to whoop that ass.
Wait, you're resting. You could rest some people. No. You don't think that weighs in at all?
No, I don't think so.
Kirby Smart does not have that in his.
No, I know he hates him. He hates him more than we do. I understand, but that's a scenario that could absolutely happen.
I think even if it wasn't Tech, though, I think what Andy's saying, he wouldn't throw in the towel on a game.
We could be playing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he throws in the towel, but maybe the mindset shifts just a little bit.
Not for that guy. Yeah,
right.
Not for that guy. Yeah. This isn't LeBron James taking days off. This is
that's different. That's different.
This is Kirby Smart.
Walk us through Tech's schedule, Andy.
Okay, first week in Dublin, Ireland, which is August the 24th. So we are we're 13
we're a week
days
from
away.
Saturday. A week from Saturday.
13 days away. How about that?
Totally agree, Beyond. Totally agree. Oh, also, hey, Mike. What's up, Mike? Mike says Kirby could win his 100th game in Tuscaloosa.
Whoa.
And he sent us money to tell us that, so I believe him.
Nice.
Send us $20 more and tell us when he can win his 200th game.
No, Mike, we appreciate it. I did not know that.
Paul just got a Starbucks coffee. Look at there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's crazy. I guess what he's at.
Is he in 96 wins?
Got to be at 96, right? Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
So 100.
Guess who doesn't care about
94
Kirby
16.
Smart?
True.
He's 94 and 16. So
94, 95, 96, 97, 98. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, he gave us some money. We're going to agree with him.
It's 100. He can win his 100th. I like it.
He could. Thank you, Mike, for the dono, man. We appreciate it. All right, Andy, walk us through.
Okay, first game is August the 24th in Dublin, Ireland versus the Florida State Seminoles.
What time's that game, you reckon?
It's probably going to be. I don't know.
Mike said he's about to take his $1.99 back. He said he's 96 and 16. Check your facts, brother. And I believe Mike.
I believe Mike too. I think Mike is 100% correct. So,
what time is that game?
I got 94 and 16. Georgia.
Right, so while he looks that up, do you want me to keep going?
Noon o'clock over there in Ireland. So
that makes sense because it's 6 o'clock out there. Yeah.
So 6 over there. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Oh boy. Let's go through the schedule. I don't want to say win or loss there yet. I really don't.
The next week they got August 31st. They play Georgia State.
Yep.
That's a win. But then they go to Syracuse on September the 7th.
That's a weird one because of what Fran Brown has done up there in Syracuse. Mm-hmm. I think he's got a lot of kids buying in, but I will say Georgia Tech wins that game.
Yep,
me too.
I do too.
September the 14th, they play VMI. That's going to be a win. September the 21st, they play at Louisville. That can be a tricky game.
I put loss on that one.
Yeah, I would definitely say loss on that. So, they got
both of you said loss, and we got to go loss. I go win though. Okay.
And then they're off, and then October the 5th they play Duke in Atlanta. So
that's a win.
The week after they play at North Carolina.
That's a win. They own North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know who their quarterback is now.
They own Carolina.
I'll take a win.
Yeah, I'll take a win at that. Then they play in Atlanta versus Notre Dame on October the 19th.
That's a loss.
Then they go to the 26th to Virginia Tech.
That's a win. No, Virginia Tech's bad. Virginia Tech's bad, Eddie.
Yeah,
they're
Virginia
bad team.
I'm saying it's a loss, but whatever.
Okay. November the 9th, they have Miami. They're going to lose to Miami. That's in Atlanta. So Miami's going to win, dude. Okay, I got to win. What do you? Got?
They're not going to kneel the football with like.
I don't think they're going to make that same mistake.
Okay, all right.
What do you got, Eddie?
I had it as a win. That's what I.
All right, I'm taking it as a win. I wasn't going to be the only one. I'll take it as a win.
All right, and then November the 21st, they're off the 14th, and then they play the 21st versus NC State, and that is in Atlanta.
Loss. I put that as a loss.
I guess a loss, yeah.
Okay, and then November 30th is at Georgia. So we're somewhere in the 9 or like the
we're I think we're 8 or 9 wins, guys, on this team, and I think Vegas has them boy, 6.5.
Yeah, it's like 6, I think, is the over. Maybe 6.5. You might be right. But we didn't do the Florida State game. We didn't even predict that.
Right. We did not.
Right here, they have Florida State as a 13-point favorite. This is according to FanDuel. 12.5. 12.5. You can get them for 12.5.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
This has to be from last year, but it has California in here as the ACC. It says over 4.5 wins, minus 165. On
No,
this
that's not right. That can't be this year. I
think it is.
But if you think about it, you got Syracuse.
Yeah, over under right here. Here's another one on the LaGrange Daily News. I don't want to subscribe. I'm sorry. Can I continue? Thank you. Over under 5.
Yeah, but you look at it. Syracuse is a toss-up. Louisville's a toss-up. Duke's a toss-up. North Carolina's a toss-up. Miami's a toss-up. NC State's a toss-up. I mean, that's the thing. All their games, I mean, half of them at least were toss-ups. Yeah, so you can see that, Ben.
I'm looking at another site. I think this site's going to be legit here because there's just no way. Georgia Tech 4.5 and 5. That's crazy to me, man. I think they win more than that. I truly do. Huh. Okay. Noon Eastern, they said, yep, we got that. First 3 games will be interesting for Tech. Yeah. FSU, Georgia State, and the Qs. We'll know what they've got after that FSU game, I feel like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really think the season kind of hinges on that opening game. You know?
Look at Mike Harvey coming in strong, dude. That guy's the GOAT.
He said, I was wrong. 100 on October 12th versus Mississippi State in Athens. There we go. 499. Mike, we appreciate you, Mike.
He paid for his mistake, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what he did?
Turn the camera on and come talk to us live.
Yeah, come on, Mike. The links in the description. You know who I want to join us, who's never joined us, and he probably won't, but it's his birthday today? I want Jermaine.
Turn the camera on, Jermaine. Get on
Jermaine to come join us.
I want to see those laser eyes.
Yeah, just so we can sing him happy birthday.
Paul's going to sing happy birthday.
If you come on, we'll sing you happy birthday, Jermaine. How about that? Randy is just dogging Eddie right now on the Tennessee stuff. He says when Eddie goes to sleep, he dreamed Tennessee beat the Dogs. Then he woke up and saw the Dogs beat the brakes off Tennessee. Oh shit!
I'm with you, Randy. I'm with you.
Yeah, dogging me. That's an opinion. That's fine.
I know. You're not. I don't think Randy, and I appreciate Randy for this. He's not going to let you live this down until the Tennessee game.
That's fine. I mean, it's a prediction game. Whatever, you know. I mean, we're kind of pulling stuff out of our hanky. We don't know what the hell's going to happen, and. Well, you are too, Andy. You make that face, but you're pulling stuff out of your hanky.
I was laughing about a hanky. I was talking about a hanky.
Okay. Yeah, a hanky is.
Well, I was trying to be clean. I wanted to say another word.
Jack White's in the building. What's up, J Dub? He says that they hit that over win total easily. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so.
4.5 seems really low. 4.5, 5 seems low.
But what if Haynes King? So one of the questions that Lindy's has about Georgia Tech is can he stop throwing interceptions? He threw 16 last year. I mean, if he's throwing
he's a quarterback,
I think he's a good quarterback too. I think it was a great get by Brent Key when he went there, and I think Buster Faulkner is going to be good. But what if he throws 16 picks? That could be the difference of 5 wins,
3 games,
and 8 wins. Yeah, so that's the difference.
It could. What else they got? What's up?
Phil Steele, I tell you guys every week how he ranks his quarterbacks, receivers, wide receivers, linebackers, etc. He has Georgia Tech 11th in the nation in the quarterback room. So he's high on
the nation King. In the quarter. Wow. Okay.
He's high on Haynes King.
That's impressive.
11th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else you got?
Yeah. Go ahead, Eddie.
Any other do they rank on anything else?
No, I don't think they do. Let me look real quick. I can't remember.
Well, one of the questions that Lindy's asked, they asked about they said, can they manage their tough schedule? Because they have one of the toughest schedules. And I think I saw Garrett post something like they had the 5th or 6th or whatever rated schedule, something like that.
This schedule doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't look that tough to me either, but I think but that's what they're talking about, how tough their schedule is. And that's what Lindy's
they've got Notre Dame and Miami, right? But both of those are at home.
Yeah.
They've got to go to Louisville, which I don't know if Louisville's that great. You guys seem to think so, but we'll see. And then Florida State, but they're in Ireland. There's not a home game for either team.
Right.
Both of them have to travel halfway across the globe to get there. If this is a tough schedule, then Georgia's schedule must be the toughest thing that's ever been scheduled in the history of football, if this is what they're considering a tough schedule.
Agreed.
So Fred F says, will you guys do a show with all of you in one room to celebrate the beginning of the season? I don't know. We all live in different parts of Georgia.
I've been trying to set that up.
I will say this, Fred. I will say this. We will look at the schedule and we will find a Sunday game where the Falcons play at like 4:15. And then we will go live right after that on a Sunday from Eddie's backyard. We'll do it. I promise you we'll do it this year. We'll all be in the same room. But it's tough because we all live in not different parts of Georgia, but kind of. So it's tough.
Yeah, we're spread out.
Alex Page says, Key makes something out of nothing from the teams that lack of talent, but he has a trigger man at QB, solid O-line, and running back, and they will fight into the end. They should have beat Louisville last year. Yeah, I think they're
but they should have lost to Miami too. I mean,
exactly.
So play that game all day long, right?
Yeah. So Fred says thank you. Garrett says yes. That has me pumped up. Yeah, we'll do it. I promise we'll do. That'll be must see TV. I might suplex Eddie on his own back porch. That'd be crazy. That would have
on my new deck. You can super.
Yeah, they have to break the new deck.
Have Miss Eddie from Ackworth running out there asking me why am I hurting her husband. So,
by the way, my wife could probably suplex you, Paul.
I know she's a bad woman. She's a bad woman.
Make sure you go to the barber to get a good shave, Paul. Make sure
look. I still haven't been able. Look, man, this is going crazy. I still haven't been able to go, man. I'm losing my mind. I need a haircut bad.
Yeah, the beard's looking scraggly. It's too bad for you.
I would have to do it. Marshmallow says that'd be awesome. I drive over and heckle from the yard. Hell yeah!
Please do.
Hey, don't worry. Well, the week
Garrett Key will too.
Come on up, Garrett. Yeah.
I'll make sure to make sure everybody has Eddie from Ackworth's address so you all can join us.
Put a banner up.
I'll put the banner up on the bottom so you guys all know where to come.
Fine. My wife would love that. That'd be great.
Chet's over on Twitter. He says dog steamroll jackets at night in Athens. George Pickens gives the pre-game talk.
I like it,
Chet. That's great.
I saw that. I felt bad for that cameraman. He's been doing it for a while. I saw that, and his camera got messed up in that. But I saw that video. It popped up on Twitter this week.
I saw it this week too. Yeah,
somebody posted it out. Dogs rolling out says, "Do y'all think we will get game day in Athens this year?" Yes. I do. If so, which game? Now you're gonna make me go back to Georgia's schedule here.
Well, like we were talking a minute ago, Tennessee could be a game day. I mean, because that one, if they're both 9-1, two top 10 teams.
So let's go through this for game day purposes because this home schedule this year really kind of sucks. Let's be honest. Compared to what it's going to look like next year when everything is flipped.
Yeah.
You got Tennessee Tech. That's not going to be it. You've got Auburn. That could potentially be it depending on where Auburn is. But also I feel like that's in the middle of the season. You're going to have some other conference games.
You got to see what else is going on that day, right? Yeah.
Mississippi State, that's not going to be it. Florida, Georgia, that is considered a home game for Georgia this year. So that is not going to be it.
I think maybe only Tennessee.
I think maybe only Tennessee as well. Yeah.
I think as we're running down through this, Tennessee's probably the only one you can get game day. And as we just ran through Tennessee's schedule, very likely both of those teams have 0 or 1 loss heading into that game. So UJ Old Miss, but that's not at home.
That's at Old Miss.
That's not in Athens, Mountain Mayo. So I could see that for sure being a game there.
Hey, one more thing on Georgia Tech. You know what I just found crazy? That they're picked to finish in Steele's magazine behind the California Bears. Just think about that for a second.
Where does he have them finishing total?
In the ACC, I mean.
Yeah.
I have it on the show sheet, Paul.
Oh.
they're picked to finish 10th. Right. But I mean just thinking about Stanford,
that's
California, it's just nuts.
Yeah,
right?
saying they're in the ACC.
That's all I meant. When I was looking through it, I was like, California, the Golden Bears are picked ahead of Tech. It's just bizarro world.
Yeah, they did they have does he have Stanford picked to finish dead last in the ACC?
Got to.
And just talking about their schedule, talking about NC State. So Lindy's has the ACC.
Nope, not dead last. He has Duke last. He has Stanford second to last.
Who did both of those magazines have winning the ACC?
Florida State.
Who's second then?
Clemson.
Who's
and
third?
Then Miami. And then the team y'all said sucks, NC State. And then Louisville and the team that you were talking about, and I said I agree with you, they're terrible. Virginia Tech, he's got them finishing 6th.
I feel like these folks are sleeping on Brent Key and Georgia Tech. I know that Georgia fans don't want to hear that, but I think they're a much better team than these books are giving.
Well, Lindy's also had you finishing 7th.
What was the top 3 in Lindy's? I'm sorry. What was
Florida
it?
State, Clemson, and Miami.
So he has Clemson, Florida State, and Miami. He flipped those 2. So.
Where does he have
NC State? And then you know who's 4th? SMU. There's another one.
Yeah, they have
SMU. They're in the ACC. Look, SMU's got that oil money out there.
I know.
Don't be surprised if they start recruiting out there.
I'm just saying, it's just the weirdness of it all.
That conference is crazy. Let's go around the horn. We'll wrap up the regular season. Andy, win or loss?
Win and cover. I mean, they're going to
25. Oh, I didn't announce it. 25.5-point favorite for Georgia.
We're smoking Georgia Tech. They're covering. Yeah.
It's a blackout, 41-7. We just destroy them. I think we.
I say they win. I say they also cover that game too. So you know what's going to happen. It's going to be a close one, and it's not going to be a cover because we all 3 agreed on that.
No, it's not.
So that puts us at 11-1, right, Andy? According to your math over there.
11-1.
We've gone through the whole season 11-1, and I'm assuming we're thinking they make the SEC championship game. Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At 11-1, they probably will. Yes.
Yeah. You'd have to, because that means you split between Alabama and Texas, and if that's the case, you're going to go in front of that team. So yeah, you'd have to.
So wait, let me throw this out. So Alabama could be 11-1, right?
If we beat them, though, we go in front of them.
Okay, that's right. So Ole Miss could be 1, right, because the tiebreaker goes that way. So yeah,
as long as you win, 2 out of the 3 of worst, Texas, Bama, and Ole Miss.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the next tiebreaker after that if you're tied?
I don't know, because somebody asked Kirby that in the press conference.
He didn't know.
Yeah, he was like, I don't really go deep into it. He said after the 3rd or 4th tiebreaker, they normally have it undercover. I don't know what we need to look that up maybe and see if we can find that for next show, what the tiebreakers are and how many there are in the SEC now that there are not divisions, right?
Right.
He made it sound like in the press conference there's like 10 tiebreakers. You just can run down the list until you get there. I'm assuming, you know what assuming does, Eddie? I'm assuming point total has something to do with it, potentially. Points scored. Point differential maybe is probably one of them. I don't know. So
we're getting the soccer regulations then, aren't we?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought Brett said I thought we were losing to Tennessee. That's Eddie. So
it's only one.
on this show here, Brett, we have to have a majority rules for Georgia to lose, and Andy and I both said Georgia wins. Whereas our one loss that we gave Georgia was to Texas, and Andy said that Georgia also would win, but Eddie and I said they would lose. So 2 out of 3, we gave them a loss. Just like with Tennessee, we took the win there. So Eric Dickerson ain't running through that tunnel, or Craig James. Yeah, they're not, but SMU, they've got some money. Just watch out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, gentlemen. Moving on. We've got about 7 minutes in the show, and that's what we always do.
Good.
Because there's not much to talk about here with the Atlanta Barbs, and the Barbs no longer have a playoff spot. Is the ship sunk? Is there any hope left?
Look, after today, when they had an 8-2 lead,
God, with 2 outs in the 8th inning,
and who was pitching? God dang! I'm telling you, San Francisco fleeced us. They did. A loss like that, when you're right there teetering between winning and losing and getting in the playoffs or not, you lose that game. I don't know, man. It almost feels like it's just.
Here's the crazy part too. Here's the crazy part about the Braves is yesterday's game gave you so much hope.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Today's game did too. We're bombing the ball.
Yeah, Matt Olson just crushing dreams out there in Coors Field. I'm like, he's yelling at the dugout, LFG, but the full words. He's doing let's get together, let's come together, let's make things better. And then they come out today, they drop 8 runs, right?
Yep.
They look good on offense. Soler had 2 bombs. He's got on base every game since he put on the Braves uniform, by the way. Dropped 2 bombs. It's 8-2. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs, and they dropped 7 runs on Luke Jackson. And I don't hold Joe Jimenez too much for that because I don't think they expected him to have to pitch. And he had to come in and try to bail out Luke.
Right.
And is there any hope left? I don't know, guys. I've said this for a long time that I feel like no matter what, I'm going to stay on Optimism Island, right?
Okay.
It's getting bleak over here, boys. It's getting real bleak. It's getting like we're running out of food over here on the island. We're running out of hopes. It's raining on us every day. It's tough to watch this team. And after watching this game, it was really tough.
Let me ask you then, do the Braves make the playoffs? As of today, I know anything can happen. As of today, do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I believe in the Braves more than the Mets. So, yes, I think they make the playoffs because that's who they're fighting with right now is the Mets. I believe in them more than the Mets. But this isn't a playoff team right now as it stands. There's too many holes. There's too many variables. If you can get Michael Harris back and going, he looks good in AAA right now.
He does.
It's something, Eddie. It's something. You need some type of defense out there. That dropped play in between all four of them last night where the ball dropped and 2 outs and 2 guys scored.
Yeah.
To make it 5-5. Like you need somebody out there to play some defense.
Here's the problem with the Braves, guys. We've been watching this.
Navy is doing target practice on your island. Yeah, man. It's hurting over here, dog. It's hurting.
Good. We keep and we have an internal chat going on. This is the worst loss of the year. I think the Braves have topped it every time we've texted that. And today may have topped it of all of them. It may have been the worst loss of the year today. 8-2, like you said, Andy. The game is over. You know,
you thought it was over. Yeah.
And this is what happens to bad teams. You mentioned a little bit on the text thread, Andy, that, you know, when bad teams have things happen to them, it just kind of snowballs. Listen to this. Sam Hilliard, who plays for the Rockies, right? He played for the Braves.
Yeah, he did.
Right? Okay. For 2022 and 2023, combined versus lefty pitchers, he had 4 hits. You know what he had yesterday? 3 hits. 3. And he had another 3 today. Sam Hilliard. That is when you kind of look around and go like, again, I'll say it, IJNOY. It's just not our year. It's not.
Jack White was at Coors Field last night. Braves fan made the majority of the noise in the stadium last night. They did.
And it was
you
fun.
could definitely hear it on TV, Jack.
Yeah.
You could.
But again, 1 step forward, and that was 4 back today.
Yeah, that was a lot of steps back. That was sad. That, like I said, that might have been the nail in the coffin today. We'll see what happens.
I think so too.
They showed the players at the end of the game when Darno struck out on strike 3 looking, and Whit Merrifield's kind of standing on the second step, like, or the top step, like, good God, like, what is going on?
Do y'all think Snit retires after this year?
I think he's going to be voluntold. If they don't make the playoffs, he will be voluntold.
Really? Oh, so it's a management decision.
I think so. Don't you?
Really?
I think if they don't make the playoffs, he will be voluntold. I do believe so.
I think they give him 1 more year, right, as a courtesy if he wants it. If he wants it, is the key. He might not want to come back. He might.
That's what I think. I think he's going to retire of his own volition. But I don't. Yeah. That's interesting, Andy. You say that because I never thought about that. But I think he just retires on his own because this is a stressful, awful season for him.
It is.
And I would say you come back next year, forget about this year. What is he? 67? Going to be 68?
Yeah, he's up there.
He's getting up there.
You can look at him during the game too, and he's like, man, I just don't want to be in Denver, Colorado right now.
Right. It may be that he just says I'm done either way, but if they don't make the playoffs, he will not be back. I don't know how it will go down, but I don't think he'll be back.
Mountain Man says, I agree. Paul gets 1 more year, probably a bump in money to go ahead and head to the golf course. Yeah. James says, I think they part ways eventually, mutually. Jermaine says all the injuries would give him 1 more year. I could see that.
That's kind of what I think too.
So if Snitker does want to come back, that can be his harp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is when he goes to the front office and leadership. Hey guys, I want to come back, but this year obviously didn't turn out because of injuries.
But that's fair, right? To say that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's 100% fair.
Smith
Shoot him at 69 in October.
Yeah, he's 68.
Wow, I was off. I thought he was younger than that. Whoa.
His birthday is October 17th. So, yeah.
Wow. Should we put a Ijnoy flag and banner in Truist this year? Yeah.
You need to put that on your island over there.
James Caraway can raise that flag, right?
Oh, that flag's been raised on Pessimism Island with Eddie since the first
No,
day
I want James to raise it.
Optimistic Island. I think it needs to go to your island now, Paul. So.
No, we're not ready for it just yet. Yeah, real quick before we get out of here, guys. Atlanta Falcons had a preseason game. Did you guys watch?
Yeah. I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see much, but a little.
Cool.
I wanted to watch I watched till Penix went out. That's all I watched.
Yeah.
9 of 16, 104 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the kid. I think he looked all right. I watched the highlights of his throws.
Yeah.
Looked good. The thing that sucks, though, 3 guys that were probably, for sure 2, probably all 3, were going to make the 53-man. 2 of them were going to be really good depth pieces, if not starter pieces on the defense, DeMarco Hellams and rookie Braylon Trice.
Yeah.
All out for the year.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
it's not getting off to a good start. So that's
tough. That was Braylon Trice, guys, was what the Falcons had told us. Hey, we didn't take a pass rusher in the first round. This is our guy. And I bought in. I went and watched his tape. I was like, man, this kid's kind of good, from Washington.
He's a good player.
I could get down with it, right? And then he goes out, and it's like, damn. Falcons need to make some moves. They need to go get another safety. Justin Simmons is out there from the Broncos. I think it's Micah Hyde from the Bills. Both those guys are available. Show us you want to win this year. You've already thrown a bunch of money at Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Go get us some defensive help. There's veterans out there that are not signed right now that can make a difference on this team.
Well, of those 3, Braylon Trice, Rondale Moore, and DeMarco Hellams from Alabama, I think that's the biggest loss is Hellams. I think that he was in for a big time role this year, and they've already signed Jakeem Grant, which is he's a 2-time Pro Bowler, mainly in returning the ball, right? But he's a speedster, and he was hurt the past 2 years, so they've kind of tried to fill what Rondale Moore's injury caused, right? Tried to fill that role, so they're going to make other moves, but I don't know.
This is crazy right here from Shoot'em. Shoot'em says, Rook looked bad too. It's crazy to think our first, second, and third round picks could be non-factors this year.
Well, to be fair, the first is kind of a wait and see.
But still,
you're right. It's not a factor, but we know why. I mean, it's a little different than making a bad pick.
Yeah, but it's still he's a non-factor.
Either way, yeah. So maybe
third round pick is definitely a non-factor because he's on the injured reserve for the year.
Yep.
And then Rook. Oh man. Yeah. Jermaine says, hey, we can trade one of the QBs for some help.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's the show, guys. That's it. We've gone through the Dogs season. How many more days until we see these dogs play on the field, Andy?
20 days. We got 20 days,
right?
Yeah.
Crazy to think we're almost there, boys.
This is the last. This Saturday is the last Saturday with no football, no college football. No meaningful football. I'll put it that way.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Well, yeah. Paul, before we go, have you heard any scoop out of the scrimmage yesterday? Or is that I did see a lot of stuff on the paywall, so there's
a lot of stuff behind the paywall over at UJSports.com. Yeah. I will say what you said about Nate Frazier seems to be true.
From what I've been reading and what I saw when I was jotting down notes for a while, but
he looks to be the truth. I'm curious who's gonna if Daniel Harris is gonna step up for the Dogs because Kirby's been riding him a lot. I wonder if he's going to get a lot of playing time. I think he will at corner for Georgia.
Kirby rides Jamal Jarrett too. I hear him every afternoon yelling at him every day. So he rides him.
And then Jordan Hall being out for at least a month is going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
but other than that, Jared Wilson was not snapping, so we might actually see Tate at center for the first game potentially. I don't know what's the word's kind of quiet right now on Jared Wilson. What's going on with him? So when it's quiet, that's normally not a good thing.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. There we go, guys. We're here. We're gone. We're in. We're out. We appreciate everybody sticking around with us for an hour and some change, talking about this Georgia football team, talking about these Atlanta Braves, talking about these Atlanta Falcons. I enjoy it. Every Sunday we get to do it. Get to hang out with 2 of my good buddies here and just talk sports. And then the rest of you guys are all good friends too.
Happy birthday, Jermaine.
Yeah. for sure. Everybody, before we get out of here, one last time, if you didn't already, wish Jermaine King a happy birthday, and we will see you next Sunday. Try to do it again 7:30, guys. We've been having to do it at 8 for trying to put my kids to bed, but I think we've got it under control now. So 7:30 next week, and we appreciate you so much. Hit that like button like Mountain Man said, and we'll see you next Sunday. Be good.